here's Brody Brazil.
Making this video is almost coming as a challenge to me because I'm pretty sure I'm about to talk for 8 minutes on just 2 paragraphs of content. But that's not going to be difficult when the governor said what? Talking about the governor of Nevada, Joe Lombardo, I was recently perusing the Nevada Independent. They had a piece that was kind of a mishmash, a summary of news and information from their state, from politics, and one of the sections was Governor Lombardo comments on the A's. Obviously, I'm interested in that, and I can't believe that within a 2-paragraph span, there are literally 5 or 6 conversation points. There is a lot to unpack here, and that's what we're going to do in this video. Here's what the Independent said. Separately, at a breakfast in Las Vegas last week, hosted by the Commercial Real Estate Development Association of Southern Nevada, Governor Lombardo told attendees to look past social media negativity about the A's being a, quote, loser team, because adding professional baseball to Las Vegas will help fill the summer events calendar when professional hockey and football are in their off seasons. And this is a quote. And here's the coup de grace. In 30 years, at the end of that contract with Clark County and the state, the county owns that stadium, the governor said. Okay. Did you pick a few things out there? Do you think you know where we're going with this? Let's start breaking this down literally word by word, maybe even sentence by sentence. Look past social media negativity. Well, what are we seeing on social media? First off, is the governor big on social media? I'm not sure. I didn't expect that. But if there is such negativity on social media surrounding the A's, is social media creating the negativity? Or is social media reacting to negativity and documenting it? Sometimes there's 2 ways about this. Social media can put a negative spin on something that's just normal. Other times, social media is enraged by something negative that is happening, and they react negatively. Are we also admitting that there's a lot of social media negativity surrounding the A's, their situation, their ambitions? I mean, why would the governor of Nevada mention this to other professionals in a totally different industry to look past social media negativity? Is that the only place negativity exists? And don't get me wrong, social media in a lot of places, in a lot of ways, is a negative thing. But why are we identifying this? Why are we calling this out so specifically unless there's a lot of it? And it's getting back to certain people in certain places. And also, if you're going to, quote, look past something, there's a catch to that. There's always a hook to that. If you're going to look past something, there better be something else and a really great reason to look past it coming next. I don't pay attention to that. Okay, well, why? And he's about to give the answer to that, but the why is also very interesting. Calling the A's a loser team, and that was quoted, right? The rest of this, beyond his quote and the loser team, the rest of this was a summary by the Independent. But apparently he said, and I'm searching for video or audio of this, the Independent is quoting him as just referencing them. He's not calling them that. He's referencing them, as others might call them, a loser team. What do you mean by that? If we're talking about the 2023 results on the baseball field, then yes, this is their worst season ever in Oakland history. They just surpassed 109 losses on the season. Officially, it's the worst Oakland season ever. One of their worst in 100 years. So if we're talking baseball results, then yes, they have lost a lot of games. But we also really need to identify here, how did this losing start? Weren't they a playoff team a couple years ago? Consistently a 97-win team season after season with a really promising future and a lot of star players. Where are all those star players? Oh yeah, they're on different teams now going to playoffs for their own clubs, their new clubs. them being a, quote, loser team, entirely self-inflicted. This was their plan. This was their design to shed the players to regenerate, and part of regenerating means you're cutting it down to the roots. All things considered, like if you know anything about baseball and the last handful of decades, and really their entire existence in Oakland, sure, every franchise has ups and downs. But generally speaking, and all factors considered, the A's have largely been winners over the decades. Regular seasons, playoff appearances. Sure, it's been a while since the last World Series win. That was in '89. But a lot of other franchises around baseball would love to have the track record, even of the last decade alone. Easy example, look at the Angels. How many times have they been to the playoffs in the last decade? Versus the A's. And the A's didn't have Trout and Ohtani. But I'm not trying to defend the A's here and say, well, they're not a loser team. I'm telling you, if you know anything about baseball, they haven't always been. And right now, I see why people are calling them that, but that gets me to this final point here. All the criticism that you're seeing, are we talking about the loser team mentality as results on the field? Or actions recently? What do we mean by that? I don't know the answer. I'm proposing that question, but when we call them a loser team, what are we actually referring to here? Results now, results over time, actions in the present. I don't know, but that's an interesting thing to throw in your quote there. Adding professional baseball to Las Vegas will help fill the summer events calendar. Now, again, this was from the Nevada Independent piece. This is how they're summarizing what he said. I do not believe this is exactly how he said it, to be fair. But are we trying to bring baseball to Southern Nevada to fill a schedule? Or field a winner? Most teams want to, or I should say most municipalities want to bring in a team, or they want to have a team, or they want to field a team so that, they can win, they can have civic pride, they can be successful, they can hope for more of that. They kind of want to fill in a spreadsheet of, well, we don't have enough summer events. But let me also caution you about that. The football season and the hockey season have totally different cadences. Is that a word? They have a totally different cadence than a baseball season. There's a lot fewer games, especially in football, and the amount of fans you need to sell out a hockey season versus a football season versus a baseball season, entirely different. To fill out an entire Golden Knights season, I think it's about 600,000 fans, do the math, to fill T-Mobile Arena for that many games, 81 home dates. And to fill Allegiant Stadium, 70,000, I think, for 8-9 Raider games a year. It's also 600,000-700,000 somewhere in there. So you basically need, if you do the math, to fill in a baseball stadium, excuse me, I said 81, I meant 41 home dates for hockey, excuse me. To fill in 81 home dates of baseball, that's 2.4 million fans. To sum this all up, you need 2 Golden Knights seasons and 2 Raiders seasons combined. All of those to make one home A's baseball season sold out. So when you talk about filling the calendar, this is a heavy lift. This is not adding one more piece like you already have. This is adding something gigantic. But again, you want the A's to fill a schedule? And here's the coup de grace. That's a noun. This is the definition. If you're not familiar, what does coup de grace mean? Here's the definition. 1, a final blow or shot given to kill a wounded person or animal. Here for effect. Or number 2, an action or event that serves as the culmination of a bad or deteriorating situation. Did you really mean to use the phrase coup de grace here? After the 30-year lease, when you're giving the final blow or shot to kill a wounded person or animal, after 30 years and you're finally at that event that serves as the culmination of a bad or deteriorating situation. Weird. So what happens at the end of those 30 years? At the end of that 30 years in the contract with Clark County and the state, the county owns that stadium. Okay. Something else that Oakland has experience with that Las Vegas doesn't. You know what happens to a 30-year-old Major League ballpark? Ask Arlington. Ask Atlanta. They tear it down. They replace it. And it costs money. Then somebody's on the hook for more money. Or if they don't do that, ask American Family Field in Milwaukee. That's only 20 years old. Cost $400 million to build. And now they need $700 million more to, modernize it and repair it. 30-year-old big league ballparks either get replaced or overhauled. And it costs money. So now you own this. Ooh. Do you really want to own that after 30 years? Shouldn't it be the other way around? How about this? Okay. I'm going to tell you that I've seen that with Major League ballparks. I mean, look, we've witnessed that with the Coliseum. When did people start really complaining about it? See, it was put up in the late 60s. By the late 90s, about the late 90s, they were, and this was after 95 when Mount Davis was put up, but that's when the complaint, it was about 30 years old. That's kind of when big league ballparks get over the hill. It's not 40 for them, it's like 30 for them. That's something I do know about. Here's something I don't know about, but maybe Las Vegas should. What happens to a 30-year-old resort property on the Vegas Strip? Are they highly desirable anymore? Do they need a little bit of TLC and fixing up and modernization? What are the 30-year-old hotels on the Strip? Like the Mirage? Are they knocking down the Mirage? See what I'm saying? So do you want to take over the Mirage right now as opposed to taking over something that's brand new? The Aria, relatively new. 30-year-old properties, I don't think they do well in Las Vegas either. So to summarize, you're puffing your chest out about taking over a 30-year-old Major League Baseball venue at that point. Are you sure that's a good thing? You sure that's what you think it is? Are you sure it is what you think it is? That's what I'm trying to say. So the governor said what? Oh my gosh, I've been talking for 12 minutes on this. But again, that one, I say 2 paragraphs, but one summary of just a small news piece, it totally caught my eye. There was so much to it. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Thumbs up on the video down here below. That'll help me out. You made it here to the end. I appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe so I can definitely see you back here next time.